Let's talk about types of numbers. So the main type of number that we work with is real numbers, and we use this R just to symbolize real numbers. Real numbers can be split up into two groups, namely rational numbers and then irrational numbers. You can see the symbols there as well. Now what a rational number is any number that can be written as a fraction, essentially, and the fraction has to be a fraction of a whole number over another whole number. So you can't have like 1,5 over 12, for example. We're talking about 2 over 3 or negative 3 over 4, right? A fraction like that. Now under rational numbers, you need to know that these include numbers like the square root of 4, the cube root of 27, basically any square root of a number that actually has a whole numbered square root, any cube root of a number that has a whole numbered cube root. Then also other things that would classify as a rational number is a decimal that stops, right? So 1,23, not 1,234 ... That does not, or that is not classified as a rational number. It is a decimal that terminates or that recurs. So if you have 1,2 recurring, for example, that also counts as rational numbers. Irrational numbers obviously are the opposite of rational. So these are numbers that can't be written as a fraction, but then also things like the square root of 5, right? 5 doesn't actually have a whole numbered square root, so that would be irrational. Then other things are decimals that continue. So we call these non-terminating decimals because we have that ... there at the end, which is telling us that it continues. Also a decimal that is not recurring. So basically irrational numbers are just the opposite of rational numbers. Then under rational numbers, we have natural numbers. Now for natural numbers, we use an N as the symbol. We also have whole numbers. Now for this, we use the N with like a 0 at the bottom. And then we have integers. And for integers, we use a Z as the symbol. Now natural numbers are the numbers 1, 2, 3, and so on. Whole numbers starting from 1. The whole numbers set starts with 0, and then it's the same as the natural numbers thereafter. But then integers are also whole numbers, but now we can have negative numbers as well. So if I start at -2, then -1, 0, 1, and 2, and then we can continue like that. Now we had real numbers in the beginning. We also need to know about non-real numbers. Now all you need to know in normal core maths is that an example of a non-real number is the square root of a negative number. If you are going into further studies maths, which is the new name for AP maths, then you will actually work with these numbers and you will work with what we call complex numbers. Now complex numbers, just for interest's sake, these have a real and a non-real component. Feel free to take a screenshot of this little summary, just showing you how the different types of numbers are all connected.